What's up, everybody? This is a very late night Gooned Up Nerds podcast. This is actually episode 4 since I actually calculated it in my head, my drunken head. And,
why is that the name?
Gooned Up Nerds. You're the one that doesn't like the word goon.
I just know the connotation for it.
Only for you. No one else thinks that except for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
I'm telling you. It's just if you look up anybody else for the demographic for this, they aren't thinking the thing that you're thinking.
Okay.
But either way, you have told me what the goon part.
Are you just saying?
No. You told me what the goon part means, and I'm still okay with it.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
But yeah, this is episode 4, and I'm not gonna do the normal intro because this has been pretty off the rails night, anyways, and it's pretty late. So, but tonight I do have
sidebar.
What?
I'm getting more notifications.
Oh. Anyways, today I will be introducing a mainstay in the crew for the Gooned Up Nerds, the Jigglypuff of the crew.
I'm the cutest one.
The Jigglypuff of the crew, the one that'll talk and then get mad when you don't listen and draw on your face. We have
cute.
Veronica is her name. Say hi, Veronica.
Hi, Veronica.
There you go. But
oh, no.
She is officially our gaming nerd for this. And I will actually say our wrestling nerd, too, because she knows a vast amount. We've been on a journey together through the wrestling archives, and it's been pretty fucking fun.
By the way, oh, no, wasn't that you? I checked what that notification
Oh, yeah, no,
was.
she's currently looking at her notifications for her dating apps right now.
It's a bad time. It was a different person, and it was what you would guess it would be.
Yes, it was unsolicited pictures of male jiggly bits.
Stop with the jiggly.
What? You're Jigglypuff, jiggly bits. I think it fits.
I need an adult.
You keep saying that, but you are the adult now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no. You're responsible for your own actions now. It's terrible. Terrible thing. But as I do with most of the new members here, as I've been doing as a general motif, we're going to be doing top 5s and bottom 5s. And being that you are the video game nerd here, though, I want to know top 5 video games all time and reasons why.
Before we jump into it, how have you been?
In terms of what?
Just how's your week been?
Oh,
did you get to check anything cool out?
I mean, before anything else, I guess we could get into any cool shit that we did this week, or actually saw this week. Honestly, just I actually just recently watched Amazon's Invincible. It's a comic adaptation from Image Comics, done by Robert Kirkman, artist Ryan Otley. The comic never actually captured my attention, but the TV show on Amazon has been fucking phenomenal. Only 3 episodes came out so far, and it's been awesome. They have a really good grasp on like how to really. They take properties that turn the superhero thing on its head, because they also host The Boys, which is also an amazing show if you ever get a chance to check that out. Basically, just the theme of these shows has really been just how fucked up the lives of superheroes are in reality, or if you were to actually put superheroes in a realistic kind of light, how bad it is. But besides that, if we're going to keep going with comics right now, since I really don't get to touch upon this that much, because this is technically a movie channel for the most part, but we do handle everything else as well. Aliens, since it got bought out by Marvel, the Aliens property is no longer part of Dark Horse. I read the first issue of the first Aliens comic for Marvel, and it's okay.
It's okay?
It's okay, because you know what it is? It's very derivative. You can see a lot of different things, elements, especially.
So where in the timeline does this fall then?
They're going by the movies. They're not going by any of the Dark Horse comic stories. It's because they say, okay.
So this is like a brand new.
It's brand new. This takes place, I think. I want to say, I mean, I'm a little fucking lit right now, but like either 10 or 20 years after the events of Aliens.
Okay.
With Eleanor Ripley.
In this timeline, is she alive? Is she a clone?
I think I don't know. They might do some throwback shit, because in the comic they bring back the android Bishop, or the concept of the android Bishop, where there's multiple androids that just have his face because that's just the product that he is. So you have I think the guy's name is Lars Henriksen that plays Bishop. You have his likeness in the comic, which is kind of cool. But there's a lot of derivative things in this, and I went over this with Dylan when we were going over his intro also. Like it's a lot of zombie things. Like in the beginning, there's you have flashbacks of the guy inside of his cryo tube where it says alien inside, which is very much like Dead Inside from The Walking Dead. And then 28 days later, we were talking about too, where the start of the plague, where activists trying to break in and free the monkeys, and the monkeys were infested with some kind of plague, and they let it out. In this one, it's activists breaking into Weyland-Yutani and then thinking they're blowing up a cybernetics lab when it's really just a biolab trying to clone the aliens, and then they let out a face hugger, and then bam, now they have a new problem. So it's all right. It's not great. I'm gonna buy the series regardless because I'm a huge Aliens fan, and I do like that they have 1,000 variant covers with awesome art on it. And as long as the story is passable, because I really don't expect much from Marvel, Disney to fucking do something awesome with this. I mean, they have a lot of gore in the comic, but it's like I can't really see them really grasping the heart and soul of Aliens. But other than that, you know, there's some other comics out there too. Kaiju comics. I think it's called Ultra Mega. Awesome kaiju comic if you guys get a chance to read that. And yeah, I mean, other than that, I've been watching just movies just for reviews with Dylan, and you could just check out the reviews for those.
Are you doing a review for the Snyder Cut?
I wanted to. That was actually supposed to happen tomorrow, but my friend flaked out.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, but also it's like
I'm not gonna watch it because it's
for fucking. I'll just say this: if I'm gonna do a small little review for it now, I'll just put it out there. It's not. It should not be 4 hours. There's a lot you still can cut from this. But it is better. It's better than the original, for sure.
Wasn't the bar for that like super low though?
It was, but the thing is, I will say this about Snyder. He managed to, in that movie, shove in the entire DC universe he wanted, or the intro to it, in one movie.
I mean, he had a lot of hindsight, too, after the fact.
Yeah, he did, but he made it, and it actually kind of worked. It just was way too long, and there was way too much Snyder-isms in there.
It's 4 hours and 4x3.
Which you can easily make 3 hours. You could have easily made it 3 hours and not done the stupid
3 hours
IMAX thing.
It being in like 4x3 is like, no.
Yeah, I mean, Endgame was
I know he did it for like the IMAX thing, and like even with Endgame was pushing it. Like Endgame for me, that was like.
I know, but
that
still kept me on my toes. That still kept me on my toes, though. Not so much the Snyder Cut drags a little bit. Like I actually had to pause sometimes and like walk away.
No, I just don't know if I'm just getting older. I don't have the patience to like.
Oh, I got you. I mean, what if it's something what if it's something you're super interested in though? Like, well, what property would actually let you sit there for 3 hours and watch it?
I don't know. Like, even like with wrestling shows, like there's some of those long ones. It's just wrap it up. Just wrap it up.
So you don't want to see a 3 hour long Snyder Cut of the Sonic movie?
Why would Snyder cut the Sonic movie?
Why not? I think Snyder should just cut everything at this point.
No.
Snyder cut everything.
Do you think this redeems everything else he's ever done?
Oh, no. I mean, look, there's some Snyder movies that are good. I like Watchmen. I like the Dawn of the Dead remake.
I don't really care for the Watchmen.
I liked the movie. I mean, he took out the coolest part at the end, but
I feel like he missed the point of Rorschach.
Like how?
I feel like he made him like the cool, like, unless I'm completely misremembering because it's been so many years since I've seen this movie.
Mm.
But I feel like Rorschach's kind of, he's essentially, like, from what I gathered, Rorschach's essentially supposed to be like a piece of shit, right?
Like how?
He's an awful person.
He's a sociopath.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like in the comic, they captured the comic pretty well. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's a sociopath. That's why, like, his partner, that owl dude, was just like, I can't work with him anymore. The guy's just like, no, this is a clear cut. Like, I don't care what happens. I'm going to enact justice the way I think I have to enact justice.
I mean, I'll say this. I guess he makes some cool music videos.
That's the problem with Snyder.
That's such a I feel like a cliche saying that, but it's there. I went for it.
No, what you call it? Snyder is, especially with the way that he portrays superhero, he makes it very much like, you know what it is? He could have cut out a lot of this movie because each superhero had its own like movie, like music video. Like the Flash had like the slow motion sequence. By the way, Ezra Miller can't fucking run. For shit. Like I don't know why that boy can't run. I mean, does he identify as a boy? I thought he was. I'm trying to think now.
I don't have the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm misgendering him. I apologize if I am. Anyways, can't run. And also, so they had a slow motion sequence, and it was basically just a music video, and it was just annoying to watch because it's like I didn't need all of this slow motion and all that stuff. Just show me this cool scene with the Flash. Just make it quick, you know. But other than that, like, it's just too long. But I did think it was a better movie. They beefed up the villains because Darkseid was actually in it. And the thing that I hated about it was that they opened it up for a sequel, and we're probably never going to get a fucking sequel.
Probably not.
But that's annoying, too. But I feel like he put it in there just in case he's like, studio, if people say it.
Actually, Ezra Miller uses they, them pronouns.
Oh, there we go. They. So I apologize for...
Correction there.
There you go. So I apologize for misgendering, correct? Anyways, but yeah, the Snyder cut better than the original. Just way too fucking.
At a very low bar.
Very low bar, but they did he did go pretty far.
Also, at least he's seemingly not a sex pervert like Josh Whedon is.
Is that the thing about Josh Whedon? Is that like a rumor?
Allegedly, maybe. I feel like I might fuck.
I heard he was just a piece of shit to work with too. In all
That
honesty.
too. I feel like that's all it ties in.
Like I was seeing articles of, I think when he was working on Buffy, one of the actresses there, he would like, I think he was trying to coerce her into getting an abortion or something, allegedly, because she got pregnant and they had the show to continue, and he's like, what are you gonna do about it? But kind of, what am I trying to say? Not microaggressions, but passive aggressively.
Oh,
trying to like, hey, maybe you should get this taken care of.
Yeah, that's
you know
rough.
I mean?
That's awful.
So and apparently other actresses on the set also
allegedly
allegedly also backed up this, like, I'm glad you spoke out, because he's also been kind of a piece of shit to me, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, other than that, that's pretty much all the cool shit, not the horrible thing that I ended with, but the comic stuff and the movie thing. But what about you?
So let's see what happened this week. I mean, at the end of this week, I haven't played too much of it, but the new Monster Hunter Rise just came out.
Oh yeah, I saw you put out something for this. So they put out a new one. Is it like, does it continue what the last one was?
I mean, those games, there's not really there's not much of a, like, from what I've gathered into it, it's not like connected. It seems like they're all times apart, I guess, is the best way to put it. They're into different areas, different all that stuff. I'm not as familiar with it. I just like the idea of fighting giant monsters. So.
Okay. That's kind of cool. I mean, like, how big are we talking? Are we talking like kaiju sized, or are we talking
there's some pretty big ones there. I've only gotten a couple hours into them, like just past like the intro shit.
Is it open world, or is there a story?
There's not really much of a. It's basically, hey, go hunt these monsters. Here's your missions. You pick the mission. It takes you into like it's a big area. Like there's different big areas you go into essentially, and you go, find some big monsters, fight some big monsters. You can play with your friends. You can make a cat called the Palico. You also got your little dog called what do they call the dogs in this one? I want to say it's Palatines is what they call them, but it's basically a big ass dog you can ride.
Oh, is this the dog drift?
You can do some dog drifting.
Oh, you can drift on your dog.
Yes, I was looking. They give you a little tutorial like the first time you get out in the mission, and you get to ride this dog. And it has all the list of like what every button does. And I'm just looking. And I see a button while running. Drift, and I stared at the screen for 5 minutes laughing at the idea of like just taking your dog and he's just drifting all over the place.
Your dog. That's the dream right there. But
dog drifting is the future.
No, what else? You got anything else?
Let's see. I got really stressed because we recorded a whole lot of footage, and
oh yeah. So for anyone that's listening,
that went so badly.
We also do a video game play. Well, actually more. V does video game playthroughs, and I get drunk in the background and say things.
You're part of the team.
But we do have a YouTube channel called V and Oscar Plays, and we just did a sequence of Metal Gear Solid videos. Which how many did you put out already?
We've done
that you already released.
3 so far.
3 that you released. Like
yes.
It's already on the channel? Okay, so 3. And then, so we had some other ones that we did, and now we're having some audio issues with it. So which is a shame. We're both still new to all of this kind of stuff. So I mean, accidents will happen.
This has also been like the most cursed playthrough we could ever have.
Yes, because we tried doing this way earlier, and it's been a disaster trying to set up, trying to get it to work on any computer. Just this one game. And
it's so funny because we did like the Mario Maker stuff before that, and that went that was smooth. There's like no issues with that or anything like.
Yeah, no, it went very smoothly, and the audio sounds awesome. So if you guys actually can check it out.
I throw in my little jokes through editing sometimes. I like to have fun with that.
Yes, she does a lot of post stuff that enhances it.
But watch the old episodes because there's probably, since we have to catch up, it's probably not going to be episodes for a week or so.
Which is fine.
Well, depending when this goes up, this is probably long past that.
Oh yeah, well probably. We'll see. I have no schedule for this. I just dump whenever I dump. You know how it is. Just like the human body. It's a natural thing.
Is it?
We are an organic fluid channel here at Gooned Up Nerds.
Let's see. Other than that, though, what else did I check out? I mean, I don't. This week has been more just like going down like the hyper pop rabbit hole for like music and
I'm not gonna lie, that's been a very good phase for you, because
the
I've been enjoying it as well.
and it's just this is another instance of me being so late to the party on like a whole lot of different like
Yeah.
music type. It's interesting for like I don't know the last 5 or 6 years. I've had a very minimal interest in like music or anything. I've mostly like whenever I'm in the car, I was like listening to podcasts. Is like
I get
things
you.
like that.
No, I've been in that same kind of mode, and it's not even like the stuff I used to listen to as like when we were kids either. It's more like I have to listen to, like I've been listening to a lot of Frank Ocean, things like that. You know.
But now that's like, it's almost like put like the more comfortable I'm getting with myself and like actually trying new things and like I'm kind of like checking anything out like if I just come across it and it's been like kind of interesting these last like I'd say in these last 3 or 4 months I've probably like given like 10 times like the music like different types of music the chance than like than the last like 5 years combined.
Hey, you're looking at something to vary it up, change it up.
And it's like I said, there's like a whole lot of like kind of like actually seeing everything that's out there for like the first time through like almost like a new lens, like
No, that's good.
because it's like it's also like at the same time it's new me basically type thing, you know, like
A rebirth.
yeah. But yeah, and then like this week it was just like like once again like I said being late to the party on like the whole like listening finally like checking out 100 gex because they blew up like
how old are they?
year like it's been a while since they like that album came out like.
I mean it's fine. Like we're not gonna be up to date on things. It's not like we're watching MTV every day like when we were kids.
I don't think I don't think anyone's watching MTV anymore. It's just
Is there even an MTV anymore?
I think it's just ridiculous now, isn't it?
Is it? I mean,
so no, actually, sidebar. You know how I know that?
How?
Because the only thing my family watches other than like Fox News,
Is it MTV?
it's ridiculous. The ridiculousness of Rob Dietrich.
Wait,
Is that his name?
Rob?
Skateboard guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the only like the other thing they watch. It's so fucking weird.
That's so weird. It's such an odd combination.
But to get back to
Oh yeah, what cool shit have you been like getting into?
But it's just like yeah, I don't know. It's like, and then I'm kind of going down this whole like hyper pop like rabbit hole. Like, just I don't know. The sounds have been really like speaking to me, and
No, it's an awesome sound. Like it's still very underground sounding because they throw in it fucking everything. There's everything is in
but
this.
at like the same time also listening to like old music, like getting back to like the stuff I used to listen to, and like the balance of the two is like it's been really interesting. Like the ideas I've been like I've been toying again with as someone that doesn't actually know how to make music. Like the last 4 or 5 months, I've basically been taking the attitude, well, if I don't know how to do it, just figure it out. Like, just do it. So, like, that's like the idea of doing something in music. Like, because we've always toyed with the idea of, like, doing, like, a band or something. But we, like, this is the first time in, like, how many years we actually, like, live within distance of each other.
Proximity of each other. It's
Yeah.
not like 3 hours. Fuck. Shit, not since we were kids, to be honest.
But it's like, yeah, like I've done like I'm at the point where I just want to try shit. I just want to do shit, and it's like I want to teach myself how to learn. Like,
no, I mean once you get into it, you can. Like when I when I did my own electronica stuff, like even like the music that intros this podcast and stuff. Like I did that way back in the day. It's just old tracks that I have, but you figure out what to do, and then also I had my friend Ayumi also just listen to it and be like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, this is how you do this. You know what I mean? But eventually you just figure it out yourself.
yeah.
But like I said, like for the most part, most of the stuff, this content creating and all this stuff, we're pretty new to it. So, I mean, it just takes practice and figuring things out.
But like that's for me, that's like I like exploring all these different outlets of like not just like expression, but like being able to just like I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is.
Well, what is the feeling you're trying to get across? So you're saying expression, but is it something more than just expression? Is what you're trying to get across?
I think so, yeah.
So expressing, like what? Like just your true you, that kind of thing?
Like finding my voice, and like.
Okay. So finding truthful expression, almost.
Basically, like in a way, yeah. And honestly, it's just at this point, like, I spent so many years just like not doing anything and not being happy with myself,
Yep.
And it's almost like, well, let's make up for lost time then. And I just want to I'm tired of not having thinking of reasons not to do something, and just at this point just say fuck it, let's do it. You know.
Okay, that's good. Anything else you want
But I
to
think-
bring to the table?
I think that's been my week. Yeah, it has, like I said, honestly, the whole being down about this whole like 3 hours of footage kind of kept me from doing a whole lot of shit this week. You know.
I see. I mean, it don't
But
matter. I mean,
after
you
the
could,
fact,
I mean, like,
shit happens.
yes, shit happens. Like I say, even if you're seasoned and stuff, it's like something is going to happen. One day, like a computer's gonna crap out, you're gonna lose a file. You know how many times I had to edit certain casts just to get one fucking thing out. So
You hate when it happens, don't you?
you do, but you gotta truck through it, and that's the nature of the beast. But anyways, I mean, just to get more into you, then I mean, like I said, you are the fucking video game person here. So let's fucking get into it. You know, and we're gonna start with some unpleasantness. We're not even gonna start off with the good shit.
Oh,
so
no.
what is the 5 worst games you've ever played?
The 5?
No descending order, whatever. Just 5 of them. No ranking, whatever the fuck.
The worst ones.
Worst ones you ever played.
What's an interesting one? 'Cause I have good taste.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you have any ones that off the back come bad, like are bad to you?
Bad
While I
to
think about
me.
this.
Honestly, probably because when I was a kid, I didn't appreciate it at the time, and I never played it since. So it was Super Nintendo. I think it was called Where's Mario?
Oh, Mario's missing?
Mario's missing.
I also had that. I hated that as a child.
I did not like it. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to like? It's not even just.
It's trying to teach you, and I didn't want to learn. I wanted to play Mario.
Exactly. I just was not into it, and my dad goes, but the back then when they had Blockbuster, the Blockbuster guy said this was like a really good game, you know, and stuff. But obviously, it was an older guy that could appreciate it. I was a little kid that wanted to play Mario, so I haven't played it since, and I kind of want to see if I'll appreciate it now. But off the top of my head, that was like one of the big disappointments I had. And then there was another one, actually Super Nintendo 2, it's like a puzzle game. I think it's called Zoop or Zoom.
Zool?
Maybe it was.
I think I actually had that one. I didn't hate that one. I actually liked that one.
I don't remember, but it was a puzzle like game or something. I don't fucking remember. Another suggestion from the Blockbuster guy. This guy must have been a really cerebral dude.
Wait, why did you? I never got a suggestion from the Blockbuster.
Because my dad would go sometimes without me and just pick games for me. There have been some winners, you know, but it's just.
I mean, one of the biggest ones that comes to my mind. We actually played this together. Was that Ride to Hell?
Oh, the biker game.
Yeah. Where you have the sex scenes where they have all their clothes on.
Which is probably if you look at it through the lens now, it's probably like one of the most sexist games you could probably play. And then not only that, I think you try you made the bike pink and stuff like you made him look super not badass, and it was hilarious.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Right to hell. That was
We never beat
game.
that game though.
No, we didn't. We didn't have, I don't know. I think we got distracted by other shit. I think at the same time we were playing like Stick of Truth or something from South Park, which is pretty hilarious at the time.
Yeah, that's the one that immediately sticks out. That was like a wonderful experience though. That was almost
but it is a bad game.
It's just like it's so bad that it's like fun, you know, type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I know one you probably disagree with.
What?
That whole Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Okay. Let me put this out there, people. And it's going to be very unpopular, and I'm probably going to get skewered for this.
Probably.
I actually enjoyed Colonial Marines Aliens. Now, before everyone starts jumping on me, I never saw the beta testing. I never saw that video that they put out saying this is what the game was supposed to look like. Because when I saw that, I'm like, okay, the game that I played now looks like complete shit. And also, I did not consider this game to be canon because they did take liberties with the stories, so they were fucking ridiculous. And then, but not for nothing, as someone that's not an avid gamer and not a very good gamer to begin with, because I suck at games, I only had a few gripes with the game. Otherwise, I really didn't care because I got to just sit around and get torqued and shoot aliens. So.
Oh, I got one. As anyone that's watched me on stream knows, I'm a very, very big Devil May Cry fan. That is, we don't talk about Devil May Cry 2 though, cause it's not good.
So Devil May Cry 2, huh?
It's everything's like the gun's the best weapon. Like you can juggle your enemies with the gun. It's like ridiculous. the game where it's like, hey, do cool combos and vary it up. Nope, just make the gun.
Just do the shooty shoots.
Just the shooty shoots.
Just do the shooty shoots. That takes away. I don't like it when they do something like that. And it's just like, hey, you're taking away the character of the game just to make it easier.
Also,
for people.
there's so much boring shit in that game.
Is there cutscenes?
There's a boss fight where you fight this fucking helicopter, and you can't really.
Helicopter?
Yeah, it's a helicopter.
A Devil May Cry.
Yes, it's a fucking helicopter. And maybe I'm just stupid. I haven't figured out you can't strike it, but no, you're just like shooting at it, and it's like it goes on for so long. I never want to go back to that game again.
Oh, that sucks. That sounds really annoying.
Dante's clothes are cool in the game, so
maybe it balances out.
it's a cool outfit. That's all I'm
based
saying.
on the wardrobe.
I'm just saying, if they ever do a Marvel vs. Capcom again, and Dante assuredly gets in, don't do the costume from 3. Do like that one, or like do his like costume from 5. Costume outfit. I say costume. I don't know. It's an outfit.
Outfit. The wardrobe.
I noticed that when I was editing those Mario Maker episodes, like when I got the power ups, instead of like calling them power ups, I were calling them costumes.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was.
Why?
It was just a weird thing I was noticing. Like I don't know. It's just a thing.
I didn't even pick up on that. But okay, so I think there's like 2 more that you have to mention.
There's probably there's a couple of those bad Mortal Kombat games, like the weird in between 3D ones.
Okay, there was one that was like a storyline too that was really bad.
No, I know which one. The Mythologies, the one where you play Sub-Zero.
Yes, that one.
I think there's another one that's even worse, but I never played it, so I'm not gonna like count it.
Okay.
But yeah, that one was weird because you had to like it was a platformer, but it played like Mortal Kombat. And there's a button you had to press to actually turn around, like which way you were facing. What would be a good? What's a good last one to end off on? So I'm not gonna say it's the worst because I didn't actually play it, but as far as like the worst experience, like playing Cyber, I feel so bad putting this in it because it's probably getting worked on and getting better. But just having a bad experience with like Cyberpunk, because it literally was dying on me like every 20 minutes.
Well, everyone had that gripe with it, right? It just wasn't ready.
Apparently, if you play on PC, you can make it work, but it definitely has problems. And I don't know if I put it on my 5 worst. It's just it's the most recent bad experience I had with a game.
Okay, but I mean, also it just wasn't finished. Wasn't that the whole problem?
That's a whole like can of worms that so many people have gotten into way better than I could even imagine getting into.
Okay.
And at this point, it's kind of like it's apparently there's a new patch coming out that's gonna add and fix a lot of things. So we'll see what happens.
Well, that's not a bad one to end it on because I know there was a lot of problems with that game. But all right, I guess we'll get into the easier stuff. What are your top 5?
Ooh, that's way more fun. That one, I feel like that one's actually even tougher than the bad ones, just because there's so many different genres. I'm gonna just jot the first ones that come into my mind, like more recent one, like Bloodborne's on the top of the list. That's like
it's a fun game.
That's the game that got me into like the whole different like soul style of games, and so I think that's always gonna stick with me as my favorite one. I mean, it's the one at some point on my stream I'm going to try to beat using an arcade stick. Like,
goddamn.
Like, what kind of dedication do you like have to a game to be like, yeah, that's the thing I'm gonna do?
I'm pretty sure it's called masochism. That's what that is.
I mean.
Most people that are into the soul games.
We discussed on a whole nother podcast. Let's leave that alone.
All different one, yeah.
So that's definitely one that's always going to be there. I love me my Street Fighter. I'm debating on which one I want to put in.
I mean, also like what I did with the other guys, it was movies. So, but you're allowed to put in whole franchises.
Yeah, I think doing series might be a little easier. So.
You could do that. It's fine. Like a game, like I said.
Putting Bloodborne in with like the other Souls games, like I'm kind of cool with like. Bloodborne's just my favorite of the bunch. Like,
well, that's not really directly a Souls game, though. It's just the same style and from the same makers, right?
Yeah, it uses a lot of the same principles and with its own new like twist.
Yeah.
Basically,
it's more like a Souls light game.
Yeah, I can see that. There's not as.
It's not. I don't think it's as fucking hard because I can play that game a little bit better than I can for a regular fucking Souls game.
You know what's funny? The actual like people that are like Dark Souls first, that are like hardcore Dark Souls, actually feel like Bloodborne's harder because there's not a shield.
What? Really?
Yeah. A lot of Dark Souls players like the sword and board it. Talking's hard.
Oh, so actually I never noticed that. So you can't really like shield parry that kind of thing.
No, yeah, you just have your gun.
Yeah,
like
I know
parry,
that.
But
I know
there's no like actual real block. You just gotta dodge.
I never actually noticed that, and I still found fucking Bloodborne easier.
So yeah, Street Fighter, like the Street Fighter series, that was like always one I got into. Like, little V got into when she got her Super Nintendo back in the day.
I mean, that was the game.
I think that was like one of the first games when I got my Super Nintendo was Street Fighter 2, the original version, the World Warrior version that you couldn't play as the boss character, so it was just the original 8.
I think my first thing with Street Fighter was in Sega, honestly.
The Championship Edition, which I also had. I loved Street Fighter, and then like college happened, and I was like, I fell into that crew of people that knew what like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike was, and like
I knew
that,
what that
like,
was.
and I pulled you into that because that game's so good. Like,
it's fun.
the style, like the thing, like the I can never do it well, but the whole like parry system in that game is like so good. We just talked about it, with the exception of 2 and like the reboot. Devil May Cry is another like.
Okay, so that's your 3.
I thought we were doing 5.
I know. I mean.
5. Oh, you're just acknowledging that we're at 3.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
All right, so Devil May Cry. So why?
So why? Because it's
why? I mean, gotta explain.
Especially from like 3, 4, and now 5. Like it's like I think it's one of the top of the line as far as like character action games go. Like there's some like they're fun. Like at the end of the day, like you can do cool moves.
Yeah.
Switch it up. Like there's like endless possibilities of like shit you can do in those games, and like it's always fun. Like especially now with 5, watching like some of those like top level players like just figure out these like weird and crazy combos they can do, like switching up their weapons and shit like that. Like,
okay. And it's like going through all the different combos and like pulling out different weapons. Like, is the fluidity like really good with these games?
Yeah, and that like also like the
not
like
clunky. You don't have to like pull up a menu screen and like go through it, but you could just button.
So here, like, all right, because there's a couple different characters. Like,
okay.
we'll talk about like Dante's, like your main character in that game. Like his like usage, like he'll have. Because it kind of changed from game to game, but with him, it's usually like you use like your 2 trigger, like you use your left triggers to switch your guns and right triggers to like switch up your melee weapons.
And where do you use it? Primarily play this on PlayStation, correct?
PlayStation, and then after 4, like 4 and 5 had like were on Xbox.
Okay.
I think actually no, they re-released the old ones on Xbox as well through the HD collection. So you can actually pretty much play them anywhere now. Yeah, the first 3 are even on the Switch at this point.
I gotta invest in one of those eventually.
And it's just like the story is just over the top. It's like dumb, like fun, stupid action, Like Dante's the cool, like he's cool, but he's also like the biggest fucking dork.
Well, explain.
Like he's like he'll do like all this cool shit, like he'll have like a rocket shot at him and he'll like jump on it and ride around, but like he clearly has no idea to how to interact with a girl, like. And then it's just like by the time you get to 5, he's like old and he's just like he's kind of given up at that point. The lights are like that's legitimately like a part in 5. Like his office, like, and he's in his office and like there's just no power. He's just like hasn't paid any bill.
Oh god, that's really funny. All right, so that's your 3. So let's go with 4 and 5.
Oof. I'm gonna go another classic one because I'm staring at it and I see the Mega Buster I purchased, but like. Mega Man games, like specifically the X series.
The X series?
It's so top notch. Like it's just fun old school like platformer action. I'd love for there to be like a new X because I know they did like for the classic Mega Man, they did 11 a couple years ago. It'd be cool if they did something like that for the X series again. Like we'll see.
You never know.
But like I said, it fills that really nice like old school like platformer niche.
Yeah. I mean, the best part is always inheriting the powers of the boss that you kill.
Yeah, and then like in the first X game, you can get like to go tie it back to Street Fighter, you can get like Ryu's Hadouken, like.
Oh really?
Yeah, like that's like one of the secrets in it. You have to get like all the power, you have to beat all the bosses, you gotta get all the power ups and upgrades and stuff, and then you go to like what's his name? The boss, the mole. Oh fuck, why am I forgetting this? This dude that rolls around and you go on the minecart and it has such like that song is so fucking good.
The soundtracks for the games are always fun.
But yeah, you go to his stage and you have to like basically get to the end like I think it's like 5 times or something like ridiculous like that, and then like on the 5th time like there's a capsule there and it's like Dr. Light, but he has like Ryu's headband on. And he gives you Hadouken, and you can only do that full health, but you actually have to do the motion to do it.
That's funny.
But if you do it on any like boss character, it's like a 1-hit KO.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, like the Mega Man, like specifically the X series is another good one. Ooh, I want to go for the last one. You know what? Fuck it, because I know I'll do another fighting game because I've been putting a lot of time into it. Killer Instinct, like especially that new one, that reboot.
It's a good one.
It's so fun to play. It's
the one with
so
the Battletoads,
fun.
right?
Yeah, you have I think Rash.
Rash. It was Rash. The guy with the sunglasses.
But yeah, oh my god, that game's so fun. Like now that I actually like understand how it works, like because no, there's like a lot like mechanically to that game, and like
Really?
each character has their own thing, and yeah, it's like I'm really enjoying it. Like I'm kind of like I kind of have a shitty internet situation right now, so I can't really play online.
Yeah. Eventually that will be fixed.
Yeah, but like
she'll be back on stream.
So
soon.
I'm just like fucking around in practice with like just a bunch of different characters, seeing what I can like figure out and lab around with.
Yep, that's a fair list. It's a pretty tight list.
Honorable mention Resident Evil.
I'll
Excited for Village, you know.
the-
Big Mommy Milker Vampire.
Yeah,
lady.
with the thick ladies. There's multiple ladies in there.
There are, but the one in charge is very tall.
Yeah.
She's over 9 feet.
Yeah. Step on me, queen.
Capcom went out of their way to let you know how tall she was.
Which, by the way,
they caught on. They knew.
There's close-ups of like their work and shit. They were detailed in what the fuck they were doing. I don't know what it is about those creators where they like locked in a basement without like Wi-Fi or something where they couldn't access the internet for a while. And this is all they were thinking about. And they were just like, you know what? If I have to be thirsty, the world has to be thirsty.
the world shall now be thirsty.
The world will now be thirsty.
This is the first survival horror thirst trap game.
Oh my god. That
is that a new genre?
I don't know why that's not like the tagline. The first survival horror thirst trap game. Step on me, woman.
Oh, I'm so excited for it though.
It looks fun. I'm bad with horror games. I'm bad with horror movies, horror games.
But you love them so much.
I do enjoy them because I do like getting scared. Getting scared for you, I think, is actually a good thing. It keeps you on your toes.
You gotta get that fear.
Yeah, a little bit. Gotta get a little of that adrenaline. But yeah, no, I'm bad with horror games, especially like I remember I tried playing like I think it was Resident Evil or something with the VR like setup that you left here.
Oh yeah.
And it was just I can't do that shit. Can't do. I could barely do fucking what was it? Call of Duty Zombies, which I love.
You Call of Duty boy.
And just zombies, it's bullshit. Like, just make the fucking game. Like, I don't want to. I do enjoy just regular Call of Duty sometimes, but like, just I want the zombies. Just make that a separate fucking game.
I don't really care. Like, I bought it that one time for us, and they couldn't even do Call of Zombies. I'm like, okay, this is the one. I gave you one chance, Call of Duty,
and you blew it, you piece of shit. Like, how do you not have local co-op on your fucking game?
Also, you know, fuck Activision.
Well, what's up with Activision?
There's just probably there's a whole lot of shit. They're, you know, big company, lots of money. They fired a whole bunch of employees and gave like their all CEOs like raises. Fuck them.
Corporations are terrible. Never trust corporations, children.
That one I don't have to say allegedly for.
What do you call? What games are you looking forward to coming out?
I mean, yeah. So you got Village that, like I said, that's coming out.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
May.
yeah.
Returnal looks really cool. I think that's also coming out at the end of April, which is like it feels almost like, speaking of Souls games, like a Souls game, but except it's a shooter instead. Like it's a third-person shooter, but it has like, from what it looks like, you have a lot of movement options. You can move like quick and kind of do like teleport around and stuff. It also has, from what I saw, it's also like it's almost like a roguelite where you everything like stuff will be at different times each time you die.
Okay.
So any positions won't be the same every single time, so it keeps you on your toes like that. That looks cool. Guilty Gear Strive is coming out in June. Another fighting game. They had their beta like, when was that? It was like a month ago, I want to say. I put a bunch of time into it. I just had a blast with it, so I'm excited for the. Other than the problems with the lobby system they had, it was really fun, and it was kind of like, it's nice. I've had this like this itch for fighting games like come back, and it's a big thing. I'm getting back into.
Yeah, I really wish I was better at games so I could give more of a challenge.
You try.
Yeah, I do try. I mean, once I figure out a move, I only stick with that move. You know.
He figured out. He figured it out.
I figured it out, and now you're just like, all right, I know you're gonna do this now, so I'm just gonna parry it every fucking time.
But you know what? I get so proud of you when you figure it out.
Yes. It is a triumphant moment until I get my ass whomped like 30 seconds later. And then she goes, know your place, trash.
Always know your place.
It's funny just because I would like to do more FPS stuff with you, just because I think it's just funny because you're not an FPS person, period.
I love Titanfall. Titanfall 2 was like.
Titanfall 2 is a really fun game.
That's a good campaign. I love like fucking Doom was great. Like both Doom and the 2016 one.
Doom's
and Eternal.
entertaining. Like it's over the top. It's gory. You know, it's fucking Doom. Like I also really liked when they did the re-release for Splatterhouse. I enjoyed that too, but that's just straight up if you just want to beat up monsters and just gore it up. I mean, that's really all it is. I don't know. I like a lot of hack and slash stuff.
Like for shooters, I always liked the classic ones like Doom.
Were you a GoldenEye person?
I play it with friends. I don't think it was like I always liked playing it, but thinking back, I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite.
Yeah, it wasn't mine either. I was more like if it came to those popular ones, probably Halo. I gravitated more.
I remember, yeah, we got big into Halo for a little bit. Not the multiplayer, mind you, just doing the campaign.
No, the campaign's fun though. That's why. It's just annoying that sometimes I just had to figure out where the fuck I was going half the time because I would kill everybody. I'm just like, what door do I have to go through to continue this goddamn campaign?
Yeah, some of those stages are a little unfortunate. Like just these big giant like hallways and stuff. You know? As one of the few people that had like the OG Xbox, well, not few people, plenty of people. I mean, enough people had it that's just that they keep making Xboxes.
It's like looking at a system with gigantism.
But it just feels like in comparison to how much like the PlayStation 2 sold, which is unfair because that's like ridiculous numbers. But hey, the Xbox you could rip your CDs, music from your CDs, and some games you could play.
Oh yeah, that's true. I remember that. I remember we were actually
that was like
kids.
the best feature.
When we were kids, I'm pretty sure we sat in your grandparents' basement ripping CDs into your systems.
Until we realized you can't do it with burned CDs for some reason. The
Oh
Xbox
yeah, that was annoying. There was a lot of Papa Roach on there.
Oh no.
Back in the day. But out of all those old school systems, though, what do you think would be the best one? Let's say for you ever played ColecoVision?
I mean, I've played those like collections and stuff, you know.
Okay, so in terms of, let's say, Atari versus Coleco.
Honestly, they all blend together for me, you know.
I mean, I played like the two little like the plug and plays or whatever.
They're like they're bleeps and they're bloops, and you know, one of them had. You know, I'm gonna go with Atari because that had Pitfall, and Pitfall was cool.
That was a really good game. I always like playing those shitty Star Wars games.
Those are cool. I actually like, speaking of Star Wars games, that arcade one, like the one where it's the actual machine that you play the different scenarios from the movies. I think it was just called Star Wars Trilogy or something.
Really? I don't remember that. Where did you play that?
That was in like every arcade, I feel like.
Really?
And it had the bonus game where you had the lightsaber and you fought either Boba Fett or Darth Vader.
But okay, how about Sega versus Super Nintendo? I'm not gonna lie, I had a Super Nintendo, but I think I might gravitate more towards Sega.
So here's the thing: I was a spoiled kid. I got to have both.
You're one of them, huh?
I know.
I had cousins for those.
At the time I had parents that made decent money, and then they stopped making decent money, so it went to shit all fast. But there's this couple of years where things were pretty good, and I had both.
Well, that's actually good though for this because you actually have perspective. Like you had both. I only got to. I think maybe I liked Sega a little bit more because it was just I had the privilege of playing it sometimes.
As strong as they are, I think the Super Nintendo's the library is a little bit stronger.
I mean, like let's say, well, I guess they have more iconic games, probably, right?
Yeah,
definitely more iconic games. Because like I know there's a bunch of games on Sega I can name right off the bat that I fucking love, like King of Monsters. I actually really like
but that's
Vector Man. I like
Vector Man's King of Monsters. Isn't that technically a Neo Geo game though?
Is it?
They ported it. I think both the Genesis and Super Nintendo actually.
I never played on Super Nintendo. I played on fucking Sega. What was the other one? Altered Beast.
That's another Sega one. Yeah, that's like an older Sega one too. That's like early into the Genesis.
Yeah, I love Altered Beast.
I think that was originally arcade before it was on the Genesis.
I mean, that was a crazy fucking game. I mean, granted, I would have fucking hated to play it in the arcade because God knows how many quarters I had to pour into that shit.
Oh, absolutely. That was the MO for arcades back in the day.
Oh my God. Like, did they ever make a port for the Simpsons arcade game?
Not until like 20 years later on like the Xbox 360 and PS3.
Oh my God, really took that long?
Yeah. Well, because that's a major license, so you know you deal with all those rights.
Man, that was the arcade game when I went to like there was a movie theater that I used to go to all the time around here. That's what they had. It was that, and it was House of the Dead for shooters. Oh, Turtles in Time also.
Yeah, the best beat 'em ups. That's now I'm thinking about that because if you're talking, I'm gonna just talk about classic ones because you know if we talk about modern, you know. I'm always gonna suggest it because it's I think it's the best one. Right. It makes it unfair for everything else. Well, but like,
put it out there, because I mean we're already.
I
don't even know if there's even a top 5. What number are we up to?
I passed the top 5.
Oh, okay.
We're just kind of rolling off into our own little tangents.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm a little lit, people, as per every other fucking podcast.
As every single episode.
As every fucking episode goes. So let's keep going. So, but yeah, you were saying beat 'em ups.
Like to me, the best one is River City Girls. Like. I don't think anything.
I saw that, and it looked pretty fucking awesome.
Like it's one of those games where you get the moves, and it's like, how can I make this a combo? Like, how can I like work this into like some like ridiculous combo. And if there's like, you can go check out like online. There's like so many videos of like people just busting out these like ridiculous like endless shit. Like it's ridiculous. And the music's fucking incredible too. Like there's definitely some ones that got me like, if you go back to that stream, I'm totally like nodding along for like a bunch of songs in that.
It's a shame.
But if we're looking at like classic ones, I might Turtles in Time is a good one.
That is a good one. I mean, you could always go with Battletoads,
Double
Dragon,
Final Fight,
Battletoads and Double Dragons.
I always liked Final Fight.
What's another one?
Streets of Rage is always another good one.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
series. But then you're getting to like home versus arcade.
I would probably go more for the home at this point if we're gonna keep continuing with this.
Because they're more balanced for like not like eating your quarters.
Yeah,
You already paid for the game. Here you go, kid.
Yeah, there you go. That's why it's always funny when I keep saying press start. And I feel like there's been some games where I've even seen that they left in the insert quarter thing above the thing. I feel like that I see that more now with certain games that I download off of PlayStation Network and stuff.
Oh, they're probably running. They're probably just straight up ports of the arcade versions.
I did buy a few fucking PS4 games earlier. What was it? I finally got Medieval, the new one.
Oh, I guess it's a remake.
Is it a remake or is it like
I thought it was a remake.
or remastering?
It's more. It's no. See, remaster would be like taking like the previous generation, like making it a little like more HD-ish, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Versus remake, if you're just going straight up from scratch, which I think that's what they did for Medieval.
Okay, I wanted to play it because I like the first game. I wish they would do something like that with Gex or something.
From what I saw, that game's a little problematic.
What, Medieval?
No, Gex.
What,
like it's actually.
Did they make a new game, or are you just talking about the original period?
The original one? Like apparently, like he says a lot of homophobic shit.
Oh really?
Yeah. You have to remember that was at that time, and it sucks so much to go back to like stuff like that.
That sucks because I loved that game as a kid.
It's like from everything I see, it's like, oh yeah, it's still a fun game. He's just like, oh no.
Well, no, because he's always doing commentary. There's always like movie references and pop culture references. That's like the point of Gex.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, not for nothing. I guess at the time too, it's just there was a lot of stuff like that. A lot of properties were like that. To be
Definitely
honest.
rough to go back to though.
A lot of properties were like that. Oh man, you know what I remember? What about like other kind of fighting games? Not so much like Street Fighter and stuff, but let's get into the weird ones like Primal Rage.
Oh, Primal Rage.
I like Primal Rage.
Do you know there was a second one that never came out?
It never came out.
Did
they advertise it though at some point?
There's an arcade I think that has had a prototype of it at some point. Cause like the prototype, like as of a couple of years, finally got like released, and it's mostly like finished and working.
Interesting.
But it's weird because it was like human fighters, but they could transform, and that was the deal with this one. It was like,
oh, so they kind of changed it to just like, hey, they're people, but they turn into these animals now.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I like the previous thing that they had, but then besides that was Clay Fighters. I actually really like Clay Fighters. I think that was only that was a Sega staple, right?
I think that was on both actually.
Really, Clay Fighters?
Yeah.
What was another one that I really enjoyed? Well, if we're gonna stick with TMNT, Tournament Fighters.
That's actually like the Super Nintendo one is like actually like a low key, really like fun, like top tier fighting game. I think.
Was that the one that was super hard though? I know there was a couple that were super hard. That like it was almost impossible to beat anyone.
The AI, usually those games they turn the AI up, but from what I remember, that was like one using like registered trademark properties and stuff. Is that what I'm thinking? I don't know. My brain's a little fried at the moment.
Yeah. And I think I asked you this before, but they never did one for like PS characters, did they?
There's that PlayStation All Stars game. We watched that video on. That one's okay. It's like Smash Brothers, but not.
Okay, so it was a Smash Brothers ripoff.
Yeah. Except with like how you don't knock your opponents off the edge. You have to like build up and get like a super move, and that's how you eliminate people and stuff like that.
And what were the characters they put in there? Did they have like Crash Bandicoot?
No.
Spyro and
no
shit
Crash.
like that?
I don't think Spyro was in it. Sweet Tooth was in it.
Okay.
You had Kratos from God of War.
All right, that's interesting.
So you had Dante, but you didn't have Dante. You had Reboot Dante.
Reboot Dante.
So there's also a reboot for Devil May Cry, which I don't think it's as bad as 2, but I'm not really a big fan of it either. Who else was in it? There's some weird one. You got the dude from Infamous. I think his name is Cole. You had Nathan Drake from Uncharted.
They could have made this a really dark game with like fatalities and shit based on the characters that I'm hearing right now.
They had, and there's some like weird ones like I don't really get. Like they had the Big Daddy from BioShock.
I mean, I could see that being a character, but was that like a special or was that the character?
That was just the character.
I thought I could see that being a character.
They had your
Every game has a big dumb brolic thing.
It's funny since we're playing through Metal Gear, specifically 2. Has your favorite character Raiden? Which once because it's so funny, you're getting so pissy about this about him, and I'm telling you, he's gonna become like the coolest, in my opinion, the coolest character.
The K-pop looking guy.
Because you know what, we're gonna talk about this a little bit. I'm gonna probably jump around on the games we play. So I've been thinking about, because a little inside baseball, we've been playing Metal Gear Solid 2.
I used that phrase in one of the earlier podcasts, and I actually said just steal something from V here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like to use that for some reason. I don't know. I think when we to go back to the Let's Play channel, I think after 2, when we go back to Metal Gear, I've been thinking about it. I kind of don't think we're gonna do 4.
Why not?
Which
one is that one?
That's the 4th one.
Yeah, but what's the subtitle for it?
Guns of the Patriot. I believe. It's so cutscene heavy. It's just, I feel like a Let's Play
more than the one that we're doing now.
I told you that ending cutscene, I feel like is legitimate, like 90 minutes.
Oh my god!
I'll probably
at that point, that's more like doing a movie review.
Like, we might be something we'll just do to fuck around to play on our free time, but I might.
Okay.
I'll tell you after, like, because we still got shit to see in 2, and you'll see like there's some more stuff to go down. But I'm gonna I want to do the spin-off because I actually started playing that in my free time, Metal Gear Rising. I'll probably explain to you, because Raiden shows up again in 4, and I'll explain to you what's going on, because once you like boot this game up and see what's going on, that'd be like a weird thing for you to see, because it's a very drastic change from what you're seeing right now.
Okay.
But I don't know, for some reason I got the itch to play that today, and I was like, to go back to my week, and I was like, oh fuck, this is such a good, like, because it's not a stealth game, it's an action game, like. But yeah, what were we talking about again? We like, oh yeah, because the PlayStation All-Star game. So it's from that game is Raiden. The Raiden from PlayStation All-Star is the one in that Metal Gear Rising.
Not 2.
Not 2. Not your.
He's not wearing the skin suit or the TikTok leggings.
No, but he has. Here's the one thing I'll tell you. He has heels that have swords. He has sword heels.
Sword heels.
Yes.
Okay.
There's swords that launch out of his heels. So
I understand the concept of sword heels.
It's the best shit.
And I don't know why, but I'm starting to think about Soul Calibur.
So I know you're all about Soul Calibur.
I do like Soul Calibur. I just like they have the special guests and stuff. Like in some of them they have. One of them they have Spawn. Another one they have Yoda. Another one they have. I mean, I think they had a missed opportunity. I don't know why they chose Heihachi to be one of the guys in one of the Soul Caliburs. To be honest. Because I mean, Yoshimitsu is a mainstay in Soul Calibur to begin with already, right? So they have that Tekken character. I'm just gonna go by nods from V right now. She's cleaning out the fish tank. But yeah, they already have Yoshimitsu in fucking Soul Calibur. So why the fuck not take a better character from fucking? I would rather have Jin than Heihachi.
I mean, he's the PlayStation guy. That's.
Is he though? I mean,
he's also in PlayStation All Stars. If I didn't mention that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like Jin is more the face of fucking Tekken. So why the fuck is Heihachi the one that gets to go to Soul Calibur?
Because he was the OG face. That's why.
I guess. I don't know. I really don't remember much before 3 or 4. 3 I remember vividly because that was Eddie Gordo was in that one.
Yeah,
right?
that's his. Yeah, that's
that was debut of Eddie Gordo.
The Dancing Man.
One of the best characters, but also one of the cheapest ones too. You have to really learn how to dodge that guy if you're fighting him. I did not dodge very well, so I just pick Eddie Gordo.
I was always a King girl.
Oh, I love King.
Those grapples.
I love King.
I wanted to figure out how to do those, like the suplex, and he links it into like the figure 4.
I actually got pretty decent with King for a little bit until someone played as Eddie Gordo.
And then it all fell apart.
And then all my confidence went away. But I love King because when you get to nail all of his moves, or when you actually get to nail the grapples, it's so satisfying to see it happen. Especially if you're like really into wrestling and stuff.
Because it's like, oh, the combos, oh, fuck this. But it's, do some grapples and link them together. Oh, it's basically still combos, but you feel so much cooler, you know?
Yeah, it's just like instead of just doing like straight up like just striking moves, you're actually like manipulating the person's body and just rolling them over into just some really fucked up situation. You ever play Virtua Fighter?
Oh yeah. The
Sega Saturn Virtua Fighter.
Yeah,
did that come out around the same time as early Tekken as well?
I think Virtua Fighter might have been Tekken to the Punch.
Because I feel
not by long.
I feel like they had similar kind of feels to them.
Yeah. Oh, it might have beat it.
Because the Sega Saturn was at around the same time as the PS, right?
Saturn, I believe, got the jump in Japan and America, I think. Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah. Well, wait, no. God, my brain is just like, I was not prepared for this, apparently. Okay, in Japan, I believe the Saturn came out first. Oh, that's right. In America, they did the E3 thing, and then Sega's like, "Oh, it's coming. It's actually coming out in 2 weeks." That's how they beat PlayStation to the market. But the PlayStation was cheaper and eventually beat out the Saturn.
Sneaky buggers.
And then the Dreamcast happened, and the Dreamcast is fucking awesome, as discussed earlier.
Yes.
Did we
Dreamcast
discuss
is
it
pretty fun.
earlier? I don't know if we did.
Actually, no, we didn't. Actually, we never did.
I think you were saying something about older systems. Oh, you were asking for comparisons.
I was asking for comparisons, and we started off with I think the one that really set all of this off was Sega versus Super Nintendo. But I guess we're gonna get into it.
Best, like,
so PlayStation versus Sega Saturn, or do you want to do PlayStation versus Sega Saturn versus Dreamcast? I don't know really the timeline in which they came out though, because I feel like PlayStation 2 wasn't very far after Dreamcast, right?
PlayStation 2 was within, that was like within a year almost, basically, give or take.
Of Dreamcast?
Yeah, because it was, PlayStation Saturn. Well, you also have to throw in, like, the N64 and, like, the PlayStation Saturn.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But, I mean, like, honestly, I guess the big competitors for the big competitor for PlayStation was N64.
Yeah, like I said, the Saturn kind of faded away pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Which sucks, because I love the Saturn.
Saturn was
a cool
fun.
system.
Saturn was fun. It was weird because my uncle's the one that had that, and he only had like Virtua Fighter and some other fucking game. It was something like it was not anything special. It was literally like a more 3D looking, kind of like Galaga.
Okay.
Like it wasn't anything like crazy. But Virtua Fighter played a lot.
He didn't have that Daytona USA.
Might have, but no, they did.
game.
But they had
song?
they had the controller and everything, right?
Daytona.
Oh god.
Oh god, I'm singing on the podcast. Oh, I'm too confident now. So, we did have you had some ideas of what you wanted to discuss for this. Do you want
In terms of what?
as far as what you wanted to discuss in this episode?
I mean, if you want to get into that, I mean, I really just wanted this to be an intro for you.
Oh, we're getting.
Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to get into the other thing either. If you want to get into that, we can get into it.
How long have we been going?
This is a fair amount. I mean, if you want to continue,
I
we
wanted
can.
to get into that one thing just because I think it's important.
Yeah, if you want to get into it, let's fucking get into it. This is not a set thing, and also, it's very much within the platform I want to present this podcast in. So.
So as of let's see, what's today's date?
Because this is more within the gaming community, correct?
Yes.
Well, but it's a general message, but this stems from a gaming community perspective.
Yes.
Okay.
General message from V. And I'm gonna dance around this very carefully because this is like I don't know. I'm getting stuck up on my words now. So as last week, there's some accusations against a. Do we want to get into this? Are we gonna get into this?
If you want to get into it, we can, and I will fully support you to get into it. Because you probably have the same views on the topic as I do. I mean, it's pretty obvious you probably do have the same views. So
yeah, all right. So there's some accusations thrown of Danny Avedon of the Game Grumps.
Yes.
About grooming. People made it out to be a minor, but she was of age, still very young. And it later turned out it technically was not.
How old was Danny when the relationship started? I only got like a brief.
If I recall, he's like 36 or 37, give or take.
And how old was she? 18?
I want to say she was like when the actual of them doing anything, she was 21. And this so here's the thing. So it wasn't it was from what happened, it wasn't grooming.
No.
But there's something getting lost in a lot of this. It's.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's a lot of whole other bullshit, but this is the thing I want to talk about. Because now it's very clearly there's these two sides getting taken of, because they're using that there's nothing wrong done, which I don't see, and we're gonna walk back to that in a second. Versus the just using anything just because as an example that they don't like, because the Game Grumps are a very polarizing group as far as fandoms go. There's definitely a section of people that just don't like him just because, even before this. And people have their reasons. I'm not going to get into that. But the argument is, between those sides of just, the no wrong can be done versus we have to cancel them at any cost type things.
Uh-huh.
And I think what's really getting lost in this is still at the end of the day, this was, a 37-year-old dude that used his power. Because If you look at the channel, they had like 5 million subscribers,
Yeah.
and this person
I
was.
mean, it's a very popular channel. I'm not a gaming person. I know who the fucking Game Grumps are.
It's also like a thing where this person was very clearly a fan.
So it's the groupie effect.
It's a thing as someone that's just getting into like the whole content creation thing. And it's a very fine rope to walk. At some point, like especially when you get to a certain, like if you're just doing it for fun and you're doing it with your friends, it's there's no pressure or anything. But like once, and I don't know where you draw the line of where like you go beyond that. You know, it's hard to say.
Okay.
Because I was actually thinking about this because it might automatically just being like, if you do something, you can't like, it's hard to say what the point where you grow. It's like you're whatever you do to the point where it's just like, because we both came from like the hardcore scene where it's everyone knows everyone and you kind of just everyone's like friends, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
With content creation, like once you get to like a certain point, I feel like it's hard to do that. It's hard to separate. Like, there's a point where a lot of it becomes like these almost parasocial relationships.
Okay. Get more into that. So you're saying that once you get more higher up into your content creation, right?
Yeah.
You have more of a following. You have like maybe not like just if you let's say 1,000 followers, something like that.
You get like thousands of fans, yeah.
Yeah. So are you saying is the interactions you had maybe the more intimate ones you had with maybe starter fans, and then maybe that grows a little more, and then you start abusing that relationship? Is that what you're getting at? That kind of thing?
I think, like I said, I think it's the point where it's just, hey, you're basically telling your friends to check your channel out, and that's usually the only people watching, and it's like friends of friends, so it's all it's still a community of people you could possibly run into.
Okay, so it's what? So once you get bigger, it's harder for you to make that distinction of who you can have that tight kind of relationship with.
Yes, it's a tricky thing to like walk around, but
I mean, honestly, with the whole Danny situation, it is the groupie effect, though. It's so much like, okay, he wasn't grooming her, but he did kind of have a fan that he was talking to for a while, and then eventually,
allegedly,
yes.
I'm just covering my ass.
No.
I'm so paranoid about that. By the way,
why?
I don't want to get sued.
Sued by who?
Anyone you talk shit about, like
there's
actually a very interesting experience going on, right?
Like the fucking Game Grumps care about a couple people just talking. You know how many fucking goddamn content creators are probably talking about this right now that have talked about this, that have already like had Twitter wars with these.
Yeah, but they
guys.
have enough of following. We're just like a tiny channel. They sick their people on us.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, I'll fight someone.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm a bad tough bitch.
I just, like I said, this channel is very anti-fanboy in any regard, so it doesn't fucking matter. I don't give a shit. If you fucking love the Game Grumps, and you don't like what we're saying right now, then whatever. I can't really say. I mean, I really just want to say go fuck yourself. I really don't care. But
like the point I'm making, like I think if you know someone's like a fan, you can't do anything with them.
I get that. I mean, at a certain point, it's like, okay, so you're a fan. I appreciate you. If you want to be friends, cool, but we can't do anything more than this, because at a certain point, it's like there's a certain power I have over you. I know I have this over you. I should not abuse it.
It's that, and I think it's also important to know if you're just you get into these big channels and you're like because I get it, since it's entertainment, it's almost like a form of escape, and since it's something where there is a lot of communication and people talking, you feel like you're almost getting to know people.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me personally, like doing Twitch and YouTube, and like more so Twitch, like getting to open up and talk about shit, like I get it. It's been cathartic, and I'm sure anyone's like listening along like would feel like they get to know me pretty better by like watching said streams. But at the same time, you have to realize like people, it's like they're not your friends, like I think it's important to have like that clear line drawn, like
they don't care about you.
Not that they don't care, but it's like you have to understand, like for a lot of people, this is like it's a job, like. Yeah. So yeah, you put yourself out there, but it's always you're still putting on like a front when you're like not a front, but you're putting on like you're still doing like a performance. You're like
it's not really your authentic you. There's something that you have an image, you have a brand that you have to put out there
exactly
to your fans. And that is what they see.
And I realize I'm saying that as we're talking about this on a podcast. I'm fully aware of that.
Oh, yeah, no. We have our own brands. We have our own things that we have to do.
But it's always
there's an aesthetic to this podcast as well as what you do with yours.
Because it's going to be disappointing when like people fuck up. I think especially holding people in that light, like that highlight of like they can never do anything wrong. They're perfect. They're paragons of virtue. Like that disappointment hits so much fucking harder when you hold
Oh
someone
yeah,
up in that
no,
like
like
high regard.
there's I mean, not so much high. I mean, even just little things like where you're just like I really love this one thing, but because that this person's such a piece of shit, like I can't enjoy this ever again.
But then it's because it's like you always hear that, like, oh, that's someone fucks up, and then they're like, oh well, thank God so and so is not like they would never do that, and then
And then you just
the
find
cycle
out.
repeats. You know, like
Yeah.
I think it's very important to realize like there's no good person. We're all fucked up to some degree. Like
There's no way you can't deify these people.
it's just something.
Everyone's human. These people are human.
And it's something that always bothers me when you'll always see on like Twitter or something. This is more so been like a wrestling thing because like over the summer there was like just a
Veronica is also a wrestling person, so
whole lot of people outed for just being like. There's a wide range of like abuse, you know, like lots of just awful shit.
a lot of targeting, probably, right?
Yeah, there's that like, and it's just like
Attacking. It was mostly social media attacking.
no, it's like it was you know like it was basically people were like there's victims actually coming out like that dealt with like abuse and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's like super serious stuff. And it's like every time this happens, you always see fans. Well, at least so and so is like, or someone would like when they would call it out. I'm not gonna do any names or anything because I'm not gonna get into that. But it was like you'd see someone like, oh, I'm a good person. I would never do anything like that. I'm proud to be like that. And then it's like a couple weeks later,
There's allegations.
and I just think it's important. Like it's such a red like. As far as like a person, like the red flag, when someone goes like, "Oh, I'm a good person," like constantly being like, "I'm a good person."
Oh no, when people like present themselves a certain way, like all the time, but like vocalize it and all this other stuff, they put it out there. It's more or less like, are you really trying to convince me, or are you trying to convince you that you're this thing that you're trying to like put out there?
It's almost like it's performative, you know?
Yes. And that would have gone into like the other thing we were going to talk about earlier was just people I didn't like in the scene, but in our individual kind of scenes. But we'll get into that some other time. That is another discussion we will have at some other point.
But yeah, I guess it's just I hate that like to go back to the whole like Danny thing. Like
yeah,
you have too much power over fans. You can't do any shit like that. That's.
Well, the power is corruptive. Well, I think for anybody, once you have that power, you don't know how you're gonna act. You really don't.
And like I said, it's
better
just
not
for
to
people
have
to
it.
like you have to understand like you can't put your faith in like people like that. It's because it's gonna suck regardless when someone you like does something shitty. It just sucks extra hard when you look at them in such a high level and like as someone that would never fuck up, and it's ridiculous because we're all humans. We all fuck up. We're like it's how people handle like how they fuck up though that like you know is what makes the difference.
Yeah, but yeah, no, nobody's an angel. I mean, you especially these days when things are just coming out left and right about certain people. And you're just like, all right, I remember I liked this person. I can't like him anymore because they're a piece of shit. Like,
Yeah.
you can't dance around. It's just like, all right. It's like not even like with the allegations or anything, because after a while, it's like if you get like 13 allegations on you, it's like, all right, there's a.
And it's frustrating to see like and to go back to the wrestling thing, like how many times it'll be like people trying to protect these like awful people and make excuses for them because they really like their wrestling or like whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's the same people that just don't like change. That are just like that. They was like, no, I can't believe that this. It's denial at its finest, and it's fucking terrible.
Like it's just hold your people accountable. It's not that hard, you know.
It really isn't. And you have to be willing to let people go too. Let things you love go when the people that are involved are pieces of shit. Honestly.
And I think it's also important to like recognize like when these, because it's whenever the shit goes down and people like these like, I really hate when people do the, like the shitty like I don't know, I'm not thinking anything specific when they do a shitty thing and then they apologize, but they expect everyone to just accept it anyways, and I don't like that's not how that works.
Like how? What do you mean?
Like, I mean, it's a general thing. Like, I've definitely seen people try to get, like, they're like, well, I apologize to be able to be, like, a wrestler again. Like, it's okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And it's like,
oh,
no,
I made amends with America. I think I should
like,
be allowed
yeah,
to
good,
do.
you're trying to be better, but, like, not everyone has to accept that. Like, it's, and there's too many awful people, you know?
Where do you feel like there's more of a contingency of people that actually deify these people more? Now, I keep saying deify, but it's just because I can't think of a better word for it. You think it's more like in the gaming community or like gaming content community or like wrestling, where people are more defensive of these people? Because I'm sure there's people that were fighting tooth and nail for Danny, going like, no, this can't be fucking right. This can't be fucking right. I mean, I've watched some people, like some content creators that were commenting on the whole Danny thing, And, you know, the ones that were just like, nope, he's a fucking scumbag, fucking just end him. But also, you did send me something that just showed me the entire list of laundry list of bullshit that has gone on with Game Grumps in general.
Yeah.
But the Danny thing, I've also heard other content creators not speaking devil's advocate, but going, hey, look, we don't know the whole story. From what I'm hearing, there has to be more to this. And then from what I understood, like the thread got deleted or something, and then like something got redacted or someone changed something about Danny. And honestly, like the whole thing was like, I don't think it was grooming, but there is that level of just, hey, you have this power over this person regardless.
Yeah.
And you have the opportunity to just do whatever you want to that person, and you did take advantage of this person to a certain extent, because you did use the trust of this person as a fan that you've been talking to for a while, and then afterwards you ghosted them.
Like I said, wielding that, because it's almost like a boss, like at a job, like it's almost like they, not necessarily, but you know what I mean, like if he said something, they would she would probably do it, you know. And that's like a really dangerous thing to have. Like, I don't think you should be like. It's almost like you have a responsibility to not like use your power for that, like your power of like quote unquote fame.
Well, honestly, it's like there's a certain point where just like when people arise to those kind of levels of stardom, or they have that level of authority over somebody, there should be a requirement like you're not going to take advantage of this, because I mean.
Which, by the way, like, someone made the argument with me, like, "Well, what do you do about the groupie thing? Do you think that's gross?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, it's so
no,
fucking
it's
gross.
it's a bad thing." I'm like, yeah, these girls are going back there.
Which I want to point out for the record, because people that listen to this probably won't listen to the other thing we did. Like, 100%, like, you know, pro sex, pro ho. Let's do what you want to do.
Pro ho, that's a t-shirt.
But there's something that's just, it feels like gross about using that power,
like I said, like there's a level of power there, and just if you abuse it, then you abuse it. Like,
and it's just like I said, it's just hard to say where
it's not. It's. I honestly don't think it's right.
It's like, is it? Oh, if you make a YouTube video, if that means someone like you can't, like, you know, like where does the point of fame begin? Like where it's like, or do you just have to take it on a case by case basis? Where if you're talking to someone and they show any interest as like, oh, I'm a fan, that's why I'm like talking to you, or do anything, like, because for us, for example, we're not popular. We have like 5 or 6. We get like 5 or 6 views on all our shit. Like, there's no qualms about this. We're doing this for fun. Like, you know, I try to get creative about telling people how I do things. So I don't want to say I make YouTube videos. I'm like, oh, I do like video editing.
You know, it's like you're making a resume for a future lover. Just like, no, I don't make YouTube videos. I do editing, content creation, project management.
Exactly.
Scheduling.
Is this where we're calling it?
Oh, hell no. No, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I do appreciate you getting that message across. It's not so much that, like, you know, this is something that V wanted to get off her chest, just in general, which is honestly something good to get off your chest, being that the whole Danny thing, especially within the gaming community, it's a big thing, you know what I mean? Especially with content creators, you know, like ourselves, even though we're just doing it now.
As someone that's just getting into it and seeing like the horrors of like what's gone on, and like trying to just be aware of, like, even though we're nobodies, like making sure it doesn't get to that like ahead of time. I was like,
you have to look at the horrors presented before you can move on and really just make it better.
And like worrying about shit you have to deal with, you know, like.
But like I said, power corrupts. Regardless, I honestly do believe that. So, like, people, if you're listening to this, stop listening to us, because I don't want to be famous. That's just there you go.
There we go.
There you go. Don't make us famous. Well, don't make me famous. You can make V famous.
Don't make me famous, but if you want, you can like send me $20.
Yeah, just send $20. You know, just so we can keep a roof over our heads.
You can PayPal me.
There's a Venmo, Cash App.
Fall of the age.
But yeah, I guess we could call it now, unless you want to add something more.
I just want to clarify, I totally stole that joke from the Super Beard Brothers about sending $20.
Oh,
so I want to make sure I have no rip-off artists.
Oh god, no, you know.
But no, it's like I said, just like, it's cool to like be like fans of like stuff and like support it, but you just have to be like clear that there's this line, like, they're not your friends, or like, it feels like shitty to just say it so bluntly. But I feel like it's almost like you kind of have to.
That's the reality. That's the nature of the beast. As a fan, for anything. Like, don't really hold these people up to super high pedestals because you don't know what, everyone's human.
Everyone fucks up.
Everyone fucks up. Everyone has their problems. And some people do it bad enough where it ends up in jail and they end up becoming pariahs of society. So
also, don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, it shouldn't be really that hard to not be a piece of shit. But it is apparently. But like I said, power corrupts. But anyway, so that was episode 4 of the Gooned Up Nerds podcast. Thank you guys for listening. I am your host as always, Oscar, and I am with our mainstay, our gamer girl, our wrestling girl, Veronica. You want to say anything? Say goodbye to the people?
Hey, if you enjoyed this, if you want to check me out, you can follow me on both Twitter and Instagram at Veronica 4V, spelled like it sounds.
Was that it?
That was it. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I was leaving. I was leaving.
Right.
The
I thought it was gonna be like a musical number or something to come after that, but
not yet. Maybe I'll get there.
That's all right. Don't worry. We're a very low budget podcast, so we'll eventually get the production value in. But thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Hopefully with another movie review or something. But this was a good little switch up.
It's fun,
Yes. So thank you, Veronica, for being here, and we will see you guys next time. Latest.
All right. Bye.